What is going on, weekenders? It's Aaron with Dream for the Weekend, and today is checking the RV Seals Day. So guys, I'm gonna wear my sunglasses. It's super bright up here today. I am up on top of the RV and I am doing my annual check, or should I say semi-annual check, or even monthly check if you want, of all of my seals on the roof of our Jayco camper. This is super important, okay? We RV all around Michigan. The only place we haven't been yet with our RV is north of the bridge, and that is someday to come. But right now, we need to check all the seals on our RV roof. This is something that you should be doing at least twice a year. Once before the season starts and once after, if not like once a month. It is super important. Guys, one common theme that I have been seeing over the last 2 years that we have been RVing is that there is a lot of brand new RV owners out in the United States because of the pandemic and all that stuff. And I got to tell you, the RV dealership really does not tell you how to care and maintain for your RV's roof and other things on your RV. It's their job to sell you the RV. It's your job to educate yourself on how to maintain it. So there's a lot of things you can do that you do not need to go to the dealer for. And I would recommend putting in the effort, putting in the work to doing some of these things yourself. And checking the seals is one of those easy things that you can do all by yourself. So what you need to do is get up on top of your roof if it's a walkable roof. Some RVs do not have a walkable roof. You need to know that. You don't want to walk on an unwalkable roof. It's bad news. You're going to damage it, okay? Now, a good indicator on if you have a walkable roof or not is if you have a ladder in the back, and it obviously tells you that you can get up on the roof and walk on it. If you can't, lean a ladder up and just visually look over your seals. Now, I like to get up here and actually feel the seal, okay? Let me show you what I'm talking about. All right, so I am sitting here on my roof. Back here behind me is our bathroom skylight. And before we went on our trip to Algonac, which was last week's video, if you haven't seen that video, I'm going to put a card right up here. You can go check that video out. It was a lot of fun. But I got up here and checked the seals, and there was a lot of cracking around the skylight here in the sealant, in the seal. All right, let me give you an up close and show you what this seal should look like, okay? All right, so the product that is used here is called self-leveling die core. Now, you can find this stuff at Walmart. I got this is a Camco product that I got. It came in a caulk gun form, all right? And what you want to do when you look at the seals, you want to look for any cracking, anything with this. There's screws that they put down in every 4 inches or so. And where those screws were, there was kind of pitting over those screws. So I wanted to redo this to make sure this doesn't leak, because I got to tell you something. Skylights in the bathroom are the first thing to leak on an RV. Your dealer is not going to tell you that. So you need to know that. You need to educate yourself. They're notorious for leaking and causing water damage in your RV. So you have to make sure that you are checking those seals. So I actually peeled off the seal around as much as I could. What is over the rubber roof, I couldn't really peel up without damaging the rubber roof. So I left that and went over it, and that is fine. Through all my research that I've done, that is fine, okay? So I caulked all this in here, and what you want to look for is it pliable? Can you see that? I'm kind of pushing it around a little bit. It's pliable. That's what you want. That's what this product is for. It's supposed to be pliable. If you get up on the roof and that is no longer pliable but hard, that needs to be changed out. Or if you've got cracking, it needs to be changed out. You can just take a like a putty knife and very carefully lift that up and start peeling it away. It will peel off pretty easy, but when it's stuck down, it's stuck down, and it'll keep the water out of your RV. So that's what I'm up here doing today. And over here, when we first got our RV, we didn't know anything. Okay, our last RV did not have a walkable roof, so we weren't able to get up and walk the roof. But these spots here, we used to have a basketball hoop right over here, and we'd have to back the camper underneath the rim of that basketball hoop. And what happened one time, we got too close and it scraped the rubber roof and put several holes here. And so that's what these things are. These are all covering up holes that I put into this rubber roof. You have to inspect your rubber roof for holes. It is very important. Water damage is your enemy. RVs are not built like homes. They really aren't. They are made of lightweight, cheap materials. You've got to go with a good brand of RV. I love our Jayco. I've watched several videos on Jayco campers being made. My father actually worked for Jayco for many years, and he swears by Jayco, and I do too. And the reason is because of the construction. They use good quality materials and just the structure of it. In fact, I saw a video where 3 fifth-wheel Jayco campers blew over in the Jayco storage lot down in Middlebury, Indiana. And those campers were still solid and intact when they turned them back up. Now, they didn't sell those campers, they scrapped them. But they could have been sold as a scratch and dent. They still had their structural integrity. That's awesome. So let me show you a few other things on the roof while we're up here. Some things that I did and some things that might help you out as a new RV owner, because let's face it, a lot of us are busy. We're weekenders, just like you. We're a weekend camping family, and the maintenance sometimes slips your mind, or you're not thinking about it because it's brand new. Just because it's brand new doesn't mean anything. It could have been sitting in whatever brand's storage lot for a year, uncovered, before you bought it. So you need to get up on the roof, check all the seals, make sure that they are soft, pliable, and that there's no cracking. All right, let me show you another thing that I did a couple weeks back, just before we went to Algonac. So when we bought this RV, we bought it private sale from someone here locally to us. And they had it, this is a 2015 Jayco camper, and it did not have a vent cover up here. And vent covers, let me tell you, they are nice when you want to keep that vent open and you don't want rain or bugs getting inside your RV. So I installed this. This actually came with it. They just never took the time to install it. So I installed this just before we headed to Algonac. This is really cool because it allows your vent to open all the way. There's some that only allow it to open partially. And this is really cool because it uses the existing screws for your RV roof vent to attach the little clips to. So let me take that off and I'll show you what I had to do to put that on. It's very simple. You guys can do it too if yours didn't come with this. So let me pop that off and I'll show you. All right, I'm sorry that I hope this shot isn't blown out by the light. I can't really tell because it's so bright out. But this thing has these little clips here. And you just pull those out. What that does is it allows this thing to kind of float. And then it just pops right off. And as you can see, our vent is already open what I had to do is I had to cut out some of the sealant here and put these in. And so I put sealant underneath this, brand new sealant, and then I put these down and screwed them in, and then put sealant over the screws. It was very simple. It's ugly, but it doesn't have to look pretty because no one's going to see it except for you. So as you can see, there's a little crack right here that I need to fill in with some lap sealant when I come up here next time. Should be okay for now, but those are things you have to look for. And as I said before, super easy to install this vent cover. All right, so now that we're back on the ground, something else that I did before we left for Algonac was I sprayed an undercoating on all the metal on the underside of the RV. The reason I did this is because we are getting some rust on the frame, and I really do not want this frame to rust out. So let me show you the front hitch here. There's rust here and all around this hitch, and underneath is the same way, but I don't want to crawl under there and show it to you. So I sprayed that with a rust inhibitor, and what I sprayed on it was CRC, heavy duty corrosion inhibitor. It's made by Marine. Now that doesn't mean that it's for boats, that means it's for metal, okay? But I got this on Amazon. There's a link below in the description where you can find this. It is really good. I coated everything, and it seems to have done a good job. It repels water really well, and I'm super impressed with this product. I've used it on underneath the truck that I just purchased, and anything that I can find that's metal. I sprayed our jacks, our stabilizer jacks. I sprayed those because they're getting rusty and they seem to work better. Now, one thing that I did not spray this on was the slide, I don't know what you call them, but the little motors that pull them in and out. I didn't spray those components other than a few bolts that were really rusty. And hopefully this will neutralize the rust and make it so that it lasts longer. And another item that I want to show you before I let you go, well, two more items actually. This item, you may have seen it before, but let me turn you around here. This is an X-Chalk, and I'm telling you what, these things are worth their weight in gold. These X-Chalks are beautiful. They stabilize the coach really well, and they eliminate, well, they don't eliminate it, but they reduce it by a lot, the rocking back and forth when you're walking around in the RV. So I would recommend the X-Chalks. Again, you can find the link down in the description below. We absolutely love these. We would never RV without these again. And if you're like me and your RV does not have a ladder on the back, this thing, this quick click ladder stabilizer made by Werner, that thing is awesome. Now, some of you might know that I have a landscaping business, so I use this when I'm cleaning gutters on homes, but it works amazingly well for leaning up against the side of the RV and not damaging the gutters on your RV. Because let me tell you, those things are not very strong. The little teeny tiny gutter right there, that black that you see up there, that's a gutter, that's a rain gutter. You can easily crack those and make them useless if you lean a ladder up against them and try to get on your roof. So, down in the description below, you will see a link for the Werner Quick Click ladder stabilizer. This can go on any ladder. This is just an add-on. As you can see here, this is not permanent. I just slide this on and off. It's got this little clip here, keeps it on, stabilizes your ladder, makes you feel safe. I cannot tell you how many times I needed this before I actually had it. And I'm telling you, this thing is awesome. So get yourself a quick click ladder stabilizer. It will save your RV a lot of damage. And the absolute last thing that I want to talk to you about today is your electrical. This is a surge protector. Now this is a cheap surge protector. This was maybe just over $200. Most of them run like $275 to $350. This was very cheap. I think we got this on Amazon. I know it's in the description below, and this just gives you peace of mind, because let me tell you, especially private parks, if you go to a private park, sometimes their pedestals are not wired properly. You could fry your RV's electrical system by plugging your RV into that. I'm serious. I've heard stories, horror stories, of people frying and totaling their RV because they plugged their thing in without a surge protector and it fried their RV's electrical. So make sure, as a new RVer, you get a surge protector. Now, we have found that state parks are pretty good about having good wiring, but this thing gives you peace of mind. How you do it? You go to the pedestal, you turn off the pedestal first, okay? You plug this in first, and what this does is, if you can see the little lights there, it tells you what it needs to read for proper wiring, okay? You can get these in 30 amp and 50 amp configurations, and I'm telling you, this thing could save your RV from having to be at the shop for a very long time, or even totaling out your RV. So get yourself a good surge protector. Now, like I said, this is maybe middle of the road surge protector. There's better ones out there. This is just what we have, and we don't plug in our RV until we plug this into the pedestal and make sure that the wiring is correct. And a lot of times RV parks get power surges, and these things will protect your RV from a power surge. Maybe you have a nice TV in your RV. It will save your TV from being destroyed by a power surge, or your microwave, or whatever other electronics you have in there. So yes, it's kind of an expensive thing, but so is your RV. You need to protect that. Guys, that's what I wanted this video to be really about, is just maintenance for your RV. Protect your investment in this RV so that it lasts you, so that it doesn't break down, so that you don't get roof leaks. So that's it for this video. Please smash that like button, subscribe to the channel for more videos. Most of our videos are adventures out and about in the state of Michigan, and we will see you in the next video.